Control was a great experience through the supernatural. Through its pure action-adventure systems, we were able to experience a narrative that explored complex themes and twists around every corner. I could have been happy with the base game offerings, but developer Remedy had to show me that they weren't done with this mind-bending adventure with the release of their newest expansion, AWE, or just AWE. All begins with a disturbance that leads us to a new investigation sector that was once sealed off. The area has become a tomb for a creature tied to a man named Dr. Hartman. However, this is only the tip of the iceberg here, as Remedy has tied in their beloved Alan Wake IP to reveal that this is all happening in the same universe. Still, the developer doesn't lean too heavily on its Alan Wake inclusion, as we are still very much focused on Jesse's story. It comes off so naturally, adding just enough to please fans, but not enough to take away from Jesse's core mission. I ended up feeling the way I did when I first played the game, as I explored new areas and utilized a few unique systems. The expansion features a lot of extra notes and files to find scattered around the level. Reading them reveals so much more about what's going on and the events that occurred in the area. I was thoroughly impressed with how many lingering questions were given some insight to through the added text. Still, you aren't required to read them, so don't feel like you absolutely need to unless you're feeling like ingesting some impactful lore. Outside of the main mission, AWE provides you with several new side missions that keep you playing long after you complete the primary objective. It makes the entire experience feel a little more whole than what I encountered during the Foundation DLC. The new areas were condensed, but I feel like there was a lot more to do. Instead of just giving you new abilities to endlessly use during the expansion, players will interact with light to progress through the levels. Light plays a substantial role in taking down a specific enemy or getting through some roadblocks. There are a few light puzzle encounters throughout the levels, but most of them deal with plugging in batteries to turn on lights. In retrospect, outside of the light mechanic, there's nothing new here in terms of added abilities. Sadly, the abilities learned through the Foundation DLC aren't even used here, which might not sit well for those who purchased that DLC. What you do get is a few fun survival modes that allow you to use all your abilities to stay alive, but don't expect to be playing any differently. Another issue that I found was the lack of new enemy types. Honestly, there weren't really any here, and many of the enemy encounters in the main missions were simple grunts. The encounters didn't really feel like the meat of this expansion. Instead, you are expected to care more about the narrative and immerse yourself through that than the combat. The main missions can be completed in around 4 hours, with a variety of smaller missions that get semi-larger as you complete objectives. The entire experience is one that I enjoyed, as it felt a lot more like Control than the Foundation did. I just love the tight spaces and halls that AWE provided as you find answers to your questions.
Who are you?
Control AWE is an excellent expansion for those who are craving to go further down the rabbit hole. The focus stays heavily on Jessie and her goals, even with the inclusion of Alan Wake, who doesn't overpower the scenes. The expansion once again proves how good Remedy is at storytelling, and I'm glad to see them continue to provide those WTF moments that we all love. Sadly, it doesn't combine the new abilities from the Foundation or many new enemy types, but overall this is a great package. Noisy Pixel is giving Control AWE an 8.5 out of 10. Thank you for watching. Please read the full review at noisypixel.net. Noisy Pixel is run by a group of gamers who work hard to deliver news, reviews, previews, and more. Please subscribe to keep up with all our future content.